causing more poverty than it's helping.
You said in the Rose Garden, the day after the attack, it was an act of terror. It was not a spontaneous demonstration. Is that what you're saying?
Please proceed, Governor.
It is in response to a video, a film. This is in response to a video.
Internet video that we had nothing to do with.
That was spontaneous? Was it a planned attack? Was there a terrorist element to it?
This is a response to a hateful and offensive video.
The video and its influence on the protests that occurred in Cairo and Benghazi. In response to this video, it was the video that caused the unrest in Cairo, that precipitated some of the unrest in Benghazi. It was sparked by the reaction to this video. The video was a precipitating cause to the unrest, specifically in Libya. Might take advantage of a situation that was brought about initially as a response to the video in question.
Natural protests that arose because of the outrage over the video.
You're totally correct that they spent 2 weeks telling us this was about a tape and that there was this riot outside the Benghazi consulate, which there wasn't.
Natural protests that arose because of the outrage over the video.
I was in chronic pain, and my family struggling to make ends meet, food and gas prices going up, even keeping my job was iffy. Then I learned about a new miracle drug made in Washington, D.C., Spenditol. Spenditol is Washington's answer to all the painful problems Americans face. How to borrow $800 billion for a stimulus that didn't create jobs or fix the economy? Spenditol.
Spenditol is not for everyone. Side effects may include a mountain of government debt piled on our kids, a sudden loss of freedoms, higher prices for everything, leaving our kids a lesser America than we had. Ask your doctor or congressman if your conscience is strong enough for Spenditol.
And it's so popular in Washington, we have to import trillions more of it from China. Spenditol makes you feel better now and pushes off the really bad stuff till later, for them to deal with.
Call the White House and Congress. Tell them, stop spending it all.
Feeling lonely this holiday season? Looking for little human interaction? Do you want to feel contact in certain special places?
Then why not go through security at an airport?
The TSA.
TSA agents are ready and standing by to give you a little something extra to feel thankful about this holiday season.
The TSA.
What are you waiting for? I want to check under your testicles.
Spending time with a TSA agent couldn't be easier. Simply book a flight departing from any American airport. When selected for a full body scanner, say no. You'll be pulled aside by a TSA agent, and that's when the fun begins. And you never know who your agent will be. It could be me. Or me. Or even me.
But it's probably gonna be us. Take off your damn shoes.
The TSA. It's our business to touch yours.
Welcome to the Bureau of Womanhood Conformity. Independent thoughts are considered subversive because all must agree with our leader.
When it comes to women, preventative care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
You see, if you don't believe government should pay for your birth control, you're not a real woman. Womanhood denied. If you refuse to accept that pregnancy is a punishment, you're denied as well.
I don't want them punished with a baby.
If you don't believe that abortions should be allowed for any reason, if you don't believe in aborting a child for being the wrong gender, and if you don't believe that stay-at-home mothers aren't real workers, you are not a real conformed woman.
His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. His wife has actually never worked a day in her life.
Finally, for your safety, if you oppose mandatory government health care, you will die.
They will be voting to say that women can die on the floor.
These standards and regulations were formed after our glorious victory in the war on women. Thank you for your cooperation and your conformity.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
Yes, we are back here on the Rod Eccles Show. Yes, you hear the wonderful rainfall and the everything is just so well. You got to do rain because you can't hear a snowfall. I guess I could do a snowstorm, huh? But yeah, well, if you're living in Seattle right now, Seattle this is pretty normal. I think the forecast for Seattle, if you're heading to Seattle, the next 5 days in a row, rain. I don't know, why does anybody live there? How is it that we got? Well, maybe that's why we got Microsoft, and that's why we got Starbucks. People love coffee because they need the coffee to keep themselves awake because it's so dreary there. And Microsoft is because people spend so much time inside, they needed something to do. But I've never been to Seattle. I don't know. Is it on my list of places to go? Is it on my bucket list? My deep bucket list? Yeah. I would. It's one of the. I would love to be able to visit all 50 states in this union, and the main city I would like to visit all 50 states. I know that I wouldn't want to live in most of the states that are in the union, but I'd like to visit. Even places like, Missouri and Louisiana and Kentucky and Arkansas. Some of those states you might think, Idaho. There's what tourism is there in Idaho and I fully Nebraska. Really, there's tourism in Nebraska. Well, wait a minute. No, isn't Nebraska where they have the Field of Dreams? But that's no longer free, is it? Didn't that? I do believe that farmer sold out. Now it's a museum and park or what have you, and they charge to get in it now, or we're going to, or something. I don't know. But there are just certain places like Indiana. Well, I get the Indianapolis 500 race, I suppose, but I don't know. Seriously, besides, if you want to go see oil fields like the Bakken fields, what's in the Dakotas? Was it? Yeah, there's Mount Rushmore. Okay, I guess every state probably has something that is very touristy. Because St. Louis, Missouri. If you like beers and all that kind of stuff, go see, St. Louis. St. Louis is a very, historical city in this country. Mississippi has, Mississippi River. You've got, Louisiana. That's got New Orleans. So, what's in Arkansas? Is Little Rock is Walmart in Bentonville? I don't think Walmart's a tourist attraction, but is there something touristy in Little Rock, Arkansas? I don't. That's the state capital, right? Little Rock. I'm not sure what's that. Oklahoma. I know there was a stage musical about with the same name, but is there anything touristy in Oklahoma? I don't know. Nebraska, I don't know. Besides seeing all the massive cornfields, I guess. I don't, if you're a girl, you probably go to Nebraska to find yourself a big strapping corn-fed man. And if you're a guy, well, then you don't go to Nebraska. You don't want a big strapping corn-fed woman. I'm sorry. Fridays. This is the Friday Follies. We try to have a little bit more fun here on the Rod Eccles Show, mixing it in with a little bit of serious stuff, but hopefully not too much. But here's something serious for you, Bonnier. And if you're gonna go ahead, email me rod@rodeccles.com if there's something that's touristy in your state or something that's touristy that is in another state that I mentioned that nobody thinks is touristy. Go ahead. I would seriously, I would love to be able to visit all 50 states in the union. I think it, and no, I won't be running in the year 2020, I'm running for president. How's that? But I'd still love to visit all 50 states. I think it'd be great to actually spend some, at least a day in each state. That would be fun. I think it would be good. I mean, 'cause I passed through quite a few states driving, but on the highway and not actually visiting this anywhere in that state is not exactly being in that state or visiting it. But I've driven through Delaware. I don't think I've ever stopped in Delaware. What the hell is in Delaware, by the way? I know it's the first state, but other than that, is there anything touristy in Delaware? I don't know. I don't know what's tourist. Well, Rhode Island. There's plenty of stuff in Rhode Island. I mean, I've been to Rhode Island numerous times. You got Providence, which is they call Providence a Renaissance city. Providence is a very fun city. You got Newport, Rhode Island, where all these summer mansions are. Those big mansions that you can actually tour. Many of them. What is it? No. I just got an IM here. I was told that either Fire Island or Rehoboth Beach is in Delaware. I think Fire Island is in Long Island, right? Those are. If I'm not mistaken, aren't those gay beaches? They're pretty much like Provincetown here in Massachusetts. I think so. I think Rehoboth is in. I don't want to go there, but Provincetown is actually a family resort. It is, it's there. It's an interesting dichotomy. Yes, I've been to Provincetown. Yes, I've been to. I happen to like Algonquin, Maine. Algonquin, Maine is like split in half. It's like 50% gay and 50% straight, and it's a really fun little summer resort, and it's a jumping off little destination to other places in Maine, like Portland. It's not far from Portland and in York and all that kind of stuff, York, Maine, and Kittery. Algonquin's a fun little place. I recommend going to Algonquin. I know it's half and half. Provincetown, I know that they bill it as being a family destination, but it really is overrun by the gay community, which is there's nothing wrong with that. They need their, it's fine that they have their own community. I have no problem with that. But if you are not, let's see, how can I put this? An open-minded individual, then you probably don't want to go to Provincetown. And before you jump off and say, well, that must be code for bigoted, racist, homophobic Republicans. No, as I've mentioned before earlier this week on this show, it's more likely Democrats are going to be less tolerant than Republicans. Just saying, just reiterating the fact. Bonnier, here's the serious news. Bonnier, GOP, and Obama in a stalemate over tax hikes. And this is a Newsmax story. House Speaker John Bonnier said budget talks are at a stalemate and that the Obama administration's tax and spending offer that was issued yesterday wasn't a serious proposal. $1.6 trillion tax hike with only $400 billion in spending. That's not a cut. When it comes to the federal government, you've got a $16 trillion debt and a $3 trillion budget. $400 billion is not a cut in spending. It's not. And it is laughable. I understand that